Hello and welcome to the final day 5 bulletin of Moneycontrol at Davos 2024, our daily show where we bring you a roundup of the top voices we speak to here on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum. It's a very chilly evening here in Davos. As you can see, it's a mix of snow and rain. We're making the most of it before we leave Davos and come back to India. But on the show this evening, just like always, we have a bevy of global as well as Indian voices, a lot of tech voices actually. We're going to kick it off with Thomas Sorosik. He is a member of the executive board of SAP. We spoke to him about the demand for technology this year, the migration to AI, and also SAP's plans for India, where they have been hiring in large numbers and they are also building a new campus. Let's listen in. India is also very big for you in terms of your presence, the number of employees you have. You're also investing in a new campus there. Yes. So take us through your India plans. How strategic is this going to be for SAP going forward?
For us, the SAP Labs in India is extremely strategic. Last year, actually, we celebrated the 25th anniversary of our lab in Bangalore, which is an amazing success for us as a company. As you pointed out, we have more than 15,000 employees in Bangalore, and we will grow them significantly. Our second campus, which we built close to the airport, will also further house 15,000 people. So there you see the growth ambition which we have. And the beauty of that is we do that because of the talent, of the skills, the amazing people which we see, and the innovative spirit of Bangalore. What is also unique in the lab in Bangalore, and that's such a strategic asset for us, is that every single product of SAP has development and product management in Bangalore. Mm-hmm. So it's the location where we bring all of our portfolio together, fully integrated. And that's also the reason why our AI activities to distribute AI across the portfolio started in Bangalore as well.
Right. Beyond being a talent hub, is India also important to you from a business perspective in the private sector and both in the government sector? What plans do you have to deepen your presence?
So from a business perspective, it's fair to say that India is the fastest growing market in APJ which we have. The last 12 quarters, significant growth, outperforming the rest of the market, which is significant and amazing. And it's also fitting to the ambition of India as a country. I mean, India will become the third largest economy in the next 4 years. And that's something where we want to help with our solutions, the government, the private and the public sector actually, to succeed. And that's something, if you think about the activities in the DPI from the government, there, if you think about topics like the open network for digital commerce, if you think about the UPI for logistics, there for sure our products are center stage because we're the market leader in digital supply chain and logistics. We're the market leader in commerce. We have the largest business network. And we want to bring that to India to help this further grow this ambition to the DPI ambition which the state has. And so we're excited to be part of that.
Away from SAP to another global technology company, we are talking about Microsoft. We caught up with its president for Asia, Ahmed Mazari. He spoke to us about how India can play a role to be at the forefront of AI deployment, what Indian companies can do. Let's listen in.
I've probably met 32 different customers over the last 4 days, and it's very energizing. The last meeting with one of the CEOs of a very large energy company, he summed it up as saying he's only seeing 2 words across, which is A and I. We see increasing attraction. We see proofs of concept. We see real production cases of AI. So it's one of the highest diffusion technologies that we have seen across the last several decades of technology innovation.
Where do you see India when it comes to your AI plans? I mean, we were listening to IBM CEO Arvind Krishna yesterday, and he spoke about how India is likely to be at the forefront of AI deployment, how its digital public infrastructure also lends itself to, skilling not just in big cities, but also in smaller cities because of digital access and inclusion. So how does this play into your own strategy?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I had the ability to meet with many Indian IT CEOs, including people from NASSCOM through this visit. And the dialogue around it has been, hey, the Indian tech industry was really born around the Y2K moment, which was a period in time where something had to be done. And that laid the foundation for transformation in the tech stack. This seminal moment of AI creates this immense opportunity for tech companies in India to be the enablement engine of not only domestic companies in India, but think about what the work that has been done by the likes of Infosys or Cognizant or Wipro or TCS or even Tech Mahindra in our space. I believe, and we as a company are confident to back these companies, to train them, to skill them, to offer the IP so that they can help implement AI in customers in North America, in Europe, and different parts of the world.
Well, when you talk about Infosys, Wipro can't be far behind. We caught up with Wipro's chairman, Rishabh Premji. He said that they are seeing green shoots when it comes to business and demand. More importantly, we also got his views around the current management. The CEO led Thierry Delaporte. Now, Rishabh Premji said that he and the board unequivocally back Thierry Delaporte and the current management. Listen into an excerpt of that conversation. You know, people said they are cautiously optimistic. The other tech CEOs have been speaking to that, there will be a pickup sometime this year. Are you sensing the same when you speak to people? What's driving the cautious optimism, if you're sensing that?
Yeah, Chandra, I definitely feel signs of green shoots, right? And I want to be sort of sensitive that it's green shoots and that's what it is. I feel as I look out over the last few weeks, and certainly things seem to be opening up a little bit more, right? One of the things we look at closely is our order booking, and particularly for our consulting business, which to me is a lead indicator of discretionary spend. And we had a decent quarter last quarter in order booking, which to me is a good early indication of the way things are going. I also find that with all the talk around AI, you may almost feel you're at a tech conference. Yeah, but one of the things I also find is customers are with the sentiment of trying to move from POCing to a great extent last year to looking at more and more business impact this year. So I'm hopeful that as you move into the second half of this year, you should perhaps see more elements of discretionary spend picking up.
Can you also tell us about the management itself? I mean, I know you've said this in the past, even at your AGMs, that, the board is firmly behind Thierry, but of course there is chatter in the market. So I want you to tell us on record on, what we should make of this. If the current management is here to stay, does the board completely endorse the current management?
Chandra, let me just say this unequivocally for the last time. Thierry and the management team have our full support. Okay?
Right.
That's all I'm going to say.
Away from global tech firms then to top Indian IT firms, we caught up with the CEO of Infosys, Salil Parekh, who said that a lot of their clients are charged up because of the opportunities that generative AI provides. Let's listen in. What's your key takeaway, when it comes to budgets for the year, technology budgets? What do they say?
So thanks for having me here. The World Economic Forum, we met several clients. The general mood of the clients is optimistic. They are quite charged up about the type of change generative AI can make for their business. There are some use cases which are very significant, huge benefits that they can get. However, what we saw as we announced last week for the quarter, we are not yet seeing a change in the actual buying. So we'll wait and see how that happens, but they seem to be quite energized by the generative AI.
Right. When you say you don't see actual buying, can you tell us a little more about that?
So there, what we said last week, the way our clients were looking at things, there was a lot of focus on cost, efficiency, automation, and that programs are doing well. We had a large deals number of 3.2 billion, a lot of them net new. But the digital transformation or cloud, we were not seeing those types of large programs when we announced last week. And here there were more conversations of direction. So there was not specific buying at this stage.
Away from Indian IT firms to an IT firm that has a significant presence in India. We're talking about NASDAQ-listed Cognizant. Its CEO, Ravi Kumar, who took charge exactly a year ago, spoke to us about the AI-led demand they are seeing, their move to move into distributed campuses, give up office spaces in larger cities. We also got his views on the poaching wars at play between IT firms. Listen in. Ravi, I think it's been a year since you took charge as Cognizant CEO. You've, brought in changes with respect to organizational structure, the way you look at your real estate assets and, what your focus areas are going to be and so on. How much of that has fructified? What else needs to be done?
Chandra, I've mentioned this in my earnings calls. India is the fulcrum of Cognizant. We're the second largest employer in India. It's the fulcrum of Cognizant. The heritage of this company has roots in India. India is going to be the future for the company. We all know India's going to play an important role in the next 1 decade. We call it the office of the world. What we did is we kind of took a lot of our infrastructure, distributed infrastructure. We are available in many cities in India. And we started to pivot that into tier 2 cities as well. Remember, during COVID, what's happened, the social fabric of India as it is, a lot of people actually moved back to tier 2 cities to stay with their families and their parents, and they never came back. So we want to take work to where people are rather than bringing people to where work is. And we spoke about going to 4 new tier 2 cities. We announced 2 cities, Bhubaneswar and Indore, in our earnings. And we are now starting to build tier 2 infrastructure, which is going to support tier 1 infrastructure. So we want to be this diverse, inclusive employer in India. And one of the things about diversity and inclusivity is about actually taking work to places where people are available. So we are very, very, very excited about the future of penetrating into the cities in India, the small cities in India, where we get some exceptionally good talent. And it's an opportunity for us to retain, opportunity for us to be flexible.
Away from the world of technology to the world of healthcare, we caught up with Preetha Reddy, the Vice Chairperson of Apollo Hospitals, on everything from their plans to expand capacity to the role that private equity funds can play in healthcare in India and the role of AI in healthcare. An interesting trend we've seen in the last year where there's a lot of investor interest in the private healthcare space in India, particularly from private equity funds. What will that mean for the healthcare space? Is it a good thing because we are seeing so much of investor interest? Will it increase competition? Will the cost of healthcare go up because we are seeing so much of private equity money coming?
So let me start with saying that the cost of healthcare is an input cost. So, you have to really pay for materials, for manpower, and for infrastructure. So those costs will depends on how much, if we can get better options, we will. So it's not really about private equity coming in, which is going to impact costs, because, we have a responsibility to provide healthcare at the right cost. But private equity coming in is good, simply because there's so much more infrastructure which needs to be built. We still don't have enough hospital beds. And if they come and the infrastructure grows, I think it's good for people. We need more hospital beds. There's data to show that we don't even have 30% of the required hospital beds, which a country of our size needs. So I think it's a good thing because we need investments in healthcare. And the sector will grow, which, globally, that's also happening.
Increase competition.
Not really, because the number of people who have to be served is huge. The competition is about getting good, high-quality, adequate manpower. And if you have those, then you can deliver that kind of care. So I wouldn't look at just the number of beds or others coming up, bigger, because there's still, the requirement is huge.
With that, we come to the end of this edition of Moneycontrol at Davos 2024. We've really enjoyed putting this show together for the last 5 days. We hope you enjoyed watching it and getting a roundup of all the voices, the perspectives that we've been putting together for you right here in Davos. With that, it's a wrap from the entire team at Moneycontrol from the World Economic Forum here in snowy Davos. Here's a snapshot of our daily drill in Davos.